Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's O'Neal from Tapped In with O'Neal, and yo, as you guys can see, we got a different setup. This not gonna be. I don't know if this is gonna be the permanent setup. Probably not. I've still got some other just a little change up for today. Changing up the setting a little bit. Let me know how y'all feel about this setup. If you guys like it, leave a comment down below. I might bring this setup to you guys a little bit more. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. But we got a lot of things to cover this week. It's another week, another $1,000. You already know we do our $1,000 weekly deposit every week. We go over the portfolio, what moves we're making in the portfolio, how the portfolio performed throughout the week, review our options trades, and everything in between. So yeah, you already know we already start out on the laptop. You guys can actually see the laptop right here. We start out on the laptop, make our $1,000 deposit on the laptop, and then we switch over to the version of the Robinhood app. And I'll put that up on the screen for you guys also. But yeah, so without further ado, let's hop straight into it. Alright, so as you guys can see, the account is sitting at $41,139.93. This is the individual investing account, that is. And yeah, as you guys can see, we do have some new positions, a lot to discuss. I'll get into it more when we switch over to the mobile version of the app. Let's see how we performed on the week. On the week, we are up $351, so that's pretty good. Up, not a full percent, but been pretty moving slowly but steadily. Recovering and stuff like that. So yeah, our buying power is at $11,211.09. We don't have any cash in the account. Our margin total went up from last week, so we had a lot of interesting things happen within this account. We got assigned our shares that we played options. We used about $14,000 to play options on TSLL. They expired, and we got assigned those shares, so we're utilizing that in margin now. So our margin went up, but also what we did do also, we started purchasing, as you guys can see, MSTY, CONY, some YieldMax ETFs. That's what I've been telling you guys about last week, and I actually pulled the trigger, and I actually went to go do it. Our futures buying power, which basically is going to be about half our buying power. This is how much they allow us to trade on options, so it'll be about 5,600. I'm not too sure if I'm going to utilize this 5,600 or I'm going to trade options this week. I might do a smaller position trade on options and just utilize my buying power to purchase more shares. I'll probably drop that in a separate video because I don't want to make this video too long. This is just our weekly $1,000 deposit. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the $1,000 deposit. It is Sunday, by the way, so tomorrow the markets open up. All right, review, transfer $1,000. Continue with the standard. Yeah, so it is Sunday. Markets open up. I just want to get this, sorted out. I got a lot of things. So, all right, deposit initiated. Covers the margin. See what the account is sitting at now. All right, we're at $42,145.55. Our buying power went from $11,211 to $13,211. So as I told you guys, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, for every $1,000 that I put into or deposit into this account, Robinhood allows me to utilize $2,000 of their money, and that is a strategy that I use to build capital within this account. So with the futures, it's a little bit different. So instead of it giving me extra $2,000, it gave me about $6,000. Actually, no, it gave me a little bit more than half. It went from 5,000 to 6,000, but a little bit more, over here. So yeah, so that's pretty much our $1,000 weekly deposit. Our margin risk went up to $9,000. So yeah, we'll go ahead and review the account more in depth. Let's switch over to the mobile version of the app, and we'll go from there. Alright, so as I showed you guys, the account is sitting at $42,151.61. Buying power is at $13,000, as I showed you. We still do have this YieldMax covered call in play. It was a $14 call. We didn't make too much money off of it. Made $15 off this one call, but it's free money, so I might as well have taken it. But as I told you guys, we got assigned our shares for TSLL. It's crazy because the way how it was performing, I sold this, let's see what it was. I think it was a $15 put. Yeah, put assignment of 10,000. So right here. So I sold a $15 put. Two separate ones actually. It was this one. And I actually wasn't gonna close this position out. As you guys can see, it says canceled. Yeah, so I was about to close this position out, because the position was already up more than 50%, and I could have just walked away with free money at that point and just utilized the rest to go on. But literally at around 4 o'clock when the market was closing, that's when this thing started dropping. So it's showing about like around 1 p.m. It dropped down all the way. It went from 16 all the way down to 1487, and it kept bouncing up. So it went right about like you see how it says on from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it was around above $15. So I would have been in the clear, and that would have been good. But then as soon as 4 o'clock hit, I was about to close the trade out, so I wouldn't take the assignment, that's when it dropped below the price. So guys, make sure you guys are closing out your positions. If you have a significant win, don't be afraid to close your positions out early. But I'm okay with being assigned these shares and assigned the positions, so I can show you guys me utilizing the wheel strategy. I haven't showed you guys in probably about a month me utilizing the wheel strategy because I haven't been taking any assignments. All my plays have been expiring worthless, and I've just been collecting the premiums. So I'm going to show you guys me utilizing the wheel strategy again. So I'll use this as an opportunity to display exactly how I'm going to do that. So yeah, as I said, it just after hours, it just been dropping, and it closed out. The market closed at 1487. So I'm hoping it has a push up. We have some decent positive news coming up this week to where this pushes up. I might sell a $16 call. I'm not sure if I want to get rid of the shares completely. I got a lot of things to think about. I'll probably wait till the market opens up on Monday, see how the market's moving, if it's going to push up or down, to see what plays I'm going to be making for this week. And yeah, I'll go from there. There's a lot of things I got to do. I'm debating whether I increase my YieldMax positions or do I keep doing the options games. I'm leaning more towards increasing my YieldMax positions because it's seeming a little bit safer on that end of things. As I showed you guys, my YieldMax position is still in the positive. My average cost is at $12.90. I got $1,365 in this over 100 shares, 101 to be exact. And this pays me out every single week. And I love that. Last week or this week, it paid me out $21.71. The previous week was $18.79. And then also I got the $15 from the call that I placed on it. So yeah, that's just beautiful. There's a lot of different ways. So I did buy some shares of Coney. Man, Coney, I don't know, man. These YieldMax ETFs and stuff like that, these things are kind of looking right, and I'll show you what that looks like. But we'll get into MSTY. MSTY is it's one of the top YieldMax ETFs, and it's showing out pretty good. They say that the amount that you make from the dividends is really good, and you don't have to suffer any NAV erosion. NAV erosion meaning net asset value, pretty much reflecting negative, and then you can look at it over all time, maximum time, so you can see how over time it has been decreasing over time, but you can see it's not as bad. It's not too bad. It's pretty much been bouncing around where it was since the ETF's inception date. So with Coney, on the other hand, you're going to see a different story. It kind of looks like it's suffering from NAV erosion, where it just pretty much been plummeting since its inception date, and that's kind of the fear of going into these YieldMax ETFs that a lot of people talk about. But as I displayed here in YieldMax, if you get in at the right times, you can pretty much be collecting money on the upside, and it just be free on the table. So with me buying Coney is one of those weekly paying dividends ETF. So it paid me $73 this week. I have only about $1,000 valued into it, which is about 140 shares. My average cost is at 871, so I might increase my position because it is below my average cost. As you guys can see, I have negative 138 on the return, but hypothetically, if I hold this for about 2 weeks maximum, this is going to outpace pretty much my total returns, and I would have gotten my money back essentially. So right now it's at 73, so in about 2 weeks that would be about $146, and that would outpace the negative 138 total return if it continues to pay me out like this. And then also I might increase my position, and we have to factor in if it does increase this week. If Coney goes up in price this week or it doesn't. So as you guys can see, it does have this gap down, and I kind of like that it is gapping down right here, so I can pretty much buy in on the low. So yeah, so this is pretty much where it was trading about a month ago. A month ago we was trading at we have some support around the 722 range, so I'm comfortable buying it at under $7 or under $8, I should say. And anything other than that, I definitely would want to buy more into it. So this is something I'm thinking about doing. So, and then also, not only that, I can also, when you have over 100 shares on any ETF or stock, you can trade options. So I can trade covered calls on it and stuff like that, things of that nature. Crypto's been doing pretty good throughout the week. It's been going up and down. It did have some pullback towards the end of the market, but it's, as you guys can see, well, before I hopped on, like probably about yesterday, Saturday, it was down about $2,000. I want to say, let me see how it's been doing. In a day, it's up almost $90. In a week, it's down $100. So yeah, these are my crypto holdings, about 18,000. Yeah, so those are the crypto holdings, and then we have our Roth IRA. Same thing as always. As I tell you guys, I invest $8.40 into JEPQ and SCHD every single day, and then on a weekly basis, I invest $6 into QQQ. So this is my safe retirement fund. And then we have, so I have buying power right here. 18 shares of SCHD, 7.40 shares of JEPQ, and 0.43 shares of QQQ. Those are the only ones that we are continuously investing into. So it's at $1,777.30. The traditional IRA, we also placed a higher put, which was 15.5. Yeah, so our average cost is at 15.5. We purchased the shares at 15.5, so we got assigned, and so we're kind of down a lot on this assignment, but we did gain $116 from it. So I probably just will sell it back for probably about the same, or maybe the $16. I might do a $16 strike price. We'll see how the market moves on Monday morning. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's looking like. And then let's see what the total account is sitting at now. If we're nearing that $50,000. Now we're about at $48,000. I think last week we were about 46, 47. So yeah, we're slowly progressing our way back up to that $50,000. And yeah, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. We're gonna get that money back in blood. Stay tuned for another video. I might give you guys an insight onto, like, when the markets open up on Monday. I might give you guys some insight onto what I plan on doing, because I honestly don't know yet. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with this buying power. I don't know if I'm gonna just continue trading options on TSLL, or I might increase my positions on YieldMax, or I might do both. I might allocate probably about half this amount. So if I use half the buying power, which will be about 6,500. If I use about 6,500 to increase my positions on YieldMax, that would leave me about $3,250 to use and utilize in options trading, because it does utilize about half. I could do it that way. I don't know. I'm not too sure. We'll see. We'll see when the market opens up tomorrow. I'll let you guys know and on what's gonna happen. And then also for the rest of this week, I'm probably gonna be closing out a lot of these positions because I have a new strategy. This new strategy that I'm gonna be utilizing. So I might be saying goodbye to these Ford Motor shares. JP Morgan, I'm not too sure yet. I do have a decent holding in JP Morgan, up $1,000, 1,162 to be exact. Dividend super, which is pretty good, but it's only paying me about 248. Sorry guys, my camera cut out. Camera storage got full. So as I was saying, yeah, these are the dividend payments that I've been receiving. So I'm going to show you guys. I did show you guys a little screenshot of how much I was getting charged for interest, and this is what it's looking like for this month. I'm only going to be charged $1.50 interest. Wait, what? No, not interest payments. Hold on. Margin. There we go. So yeah, last month I only was charged $21.98 for utilizing margin, and you guys can see what the margin is looking like from before then. So I paid a decent amount. Well, this was from the past. This is from the past. I think my highest was ranging around $50. The highest amount that I paid in margin. Let me see if it pulls up the details. Only about 7,000 average margin use, about 7,000. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to be clearing up a lot of my margin. I'm going to be clear. And what percent was this at? Let me see what percent it was at. $50 at an 8% interest rate. Okay. So back in 2024, this was back way before when I was utilizing margin. This was before I started getting active in this account again. So back last year, April 4th, 2024, they were charging me 8% interest. You guys know now that the interest is at 5.75% for accounts under $50,000. So it charged me about $50. So now let's see what the latest one was. At a 5.75% interest, we used about 45 $100 in margin, charge us $21.98. So that gives you guys an idea how much you're going to be paying in margin if you're utilizing Robinhood's money. So yeah, this is just a little bit of insight. So we are in margin. I'm going to see if I can just sell off these, get rid of these TSL shares, 700 shares I have about in TSLL. I'm going to probably get rid of those shares, and I might increase my position. So I don't know. And I might sell off some of these stocks. So it's going to be a lot of rebalancing around this portfolio. I'll let you keep you guys updated. But this was our weekly $1,000 deposit. And yeah, if you guys like this video, feel like it was useful in any way, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you guys tap into the Discord. We got like-minded individuals like me and others. You guys can conversate with me. If you guys want to get in direct contact with me, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is going to be in the link in the descriptions, as well as the Discord. Yeah, and guys, leave a comment for feedback if you got anything you want to add or say. And without further ado, it's Tapped In with O'Neil, and I'm signing out.